Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. I am tired. I am tired. I got my grandma all dropped off. I got the kids. I got the kids, and I'm actually trying to now get my allergy medicine because I'm just so ready to go home. I don't even know. I'm about to make something quick for them because I don't like what I was gonna make for dinner. It's gonna take a couple of hours, and they're gonna be hungry when we get to the house. And so I'm most likely not even gonna be able to make that unless I just make them something quick and then still put on what I was gonna make for dinner. And do that. But I'm just beat. This has been like a long, mentally draining week. But I had wanted to come on here because I had got news that somebody, well, I found out that somebody that I know, why would they come through here? You can't get through here. Hey Nicole. Somebody who I know, they had got a letter in the mail getting cut off their Section 8. And y'all know, like last month or no, October, and I believe September too, like the systems was down here with the Section 8 office and all kind of stuff. And they had got they haven't, like, so Section 8 gives you like a utility, like a utility allotment based on like how much rent you gotta pay. The more rent you gotta pay, the less utility allotment you get because they take it out of that. And so me, I get $100 every month towards my utilities, but I pay all utilities. So my light bill alone is like $300 a month. But and so she had got a letter in the mail. Well, she had been checking her utility card, and her utility money wasn't going on there. Like, she was asking me, had I got my utility money? You know, people was asking me how I got mine yet, had it had hit, because, you know, our systems was down and stuff. When my utility money hit, that's how I knew the systems was back running, and that was like the 1st of November. The first week of November. They was trying to get everybody's from October's caught up. When she had checked hers still wasn't on there for October. Like, they didn't pay her for October, they haven't paid her for November, and now we in December. And so now she get a letter in the mail saying that she terminated. Like, basically no warning or anything. But the kicker is, she got another letter in the mail today after she been like, they terminated me, and been like in a state of like panic because it's like, okay, yeah, they haven't given me my utility money. Maybe that's why I haven't been receiving it, because, you know, I'm terminated. But I don't even know what, like, they said I didn't, you know, complete something in time, but like the office had been closed. And then so today she ended up saying that she got another letter in the mail for like an inspection. Can y'all turn it down all the way, please? Because it's real loud on the thing, or I'm gonna take it. She got another letter in the mail, like for her inspection, because every year when you're getting ready to recertify, your house got to get inspected, and like everything has to be up to code, up to standards of the Section 8 program or housing choice voucher program. And so I was like, that's why it's a blessing, but it's a curse, because this person, like, she's not in like how I'm like ready to be off of government assistance, and I talk about that, and I'll be like so depressed, and it really bothers my mental state, and I'll be full of anxiety and all of that. And, you know, a lot of people just say, you know, just enjoy the season, and, you know, just be grateful that they are paying things because, you know, it's a lot of people out here that's paying for rent, or a lot of people not knowing how they can cover your bills. And I don't know if it's just the city and state that I'm in, but from what I can tell from like reading comments, it's like all like housing. Yes, so I definitely, you know, I keep the faith, and you know, I definitely get weary a lot of times, because it's just like I'm ready for the next transition. Like, I'm ready for the next phase of my life. I'm tired. Like, it's like this is a channel that I'm tired of watching. My grandma is in poverty. My mom in poverty. My grandmother's grandmother was in poverty. And so that's all I've ever known. And so it's like, I know what the struggle was like. Like, I know what the struggle like. Like, my kids really don't know all the way kind of what it's like, because I completely understand that. Yes, it's like my kids don't know what it's all the way, what the struggle is all the way, just because, like, for instance, they had a dustpan for the most part. Like, you would think something so simple, but it's like, growing up, I didn't even know that a dustpan came with a broom. It's like you use the cereal box, you use mail, you use stuff around, like, you have to have a broom, but the dustpan was like a extra, like, what is called, like, a luxury. Like, that was like it was like, oh, you got a dustpan to go with your broom, you know. And so with my kids, unless it's like our dustpan gets cracked or something like that, and I go out and buy another one. We got 2 dustpans on our porch, one on our, you know, in our house. Like, we got dustpans everywhere. And it's just like, it's something so small, but when I just think about just the constant, it's okay. Like, I'm happy. But it's like having to live and be happy with the bare minimum for so long. Some people, these kids got a whole bunch of luxuries. Like, they got a whole bunch of luxuries. They not standing out in no line for no coats. Like, now it's like the schools bring the coat to the school. You know, like, they not able to, like, now if parents is struggling, they really are able to be separated from that. The only way they know a parent is struggling, if the parent says they're really struggling, or if around them look very destitute or whatever. But it's like, it's so many programs, it's so, you know, it's so much convenience, it's laptops and tablets, and, you know, it's so much stuff that even like it's real hood rich. You know, hood rich was something that, like, I thought I was in, you know, growing up, because, you know, like, when I was speaking with my dad, he was like, you know, he grew up poor, and then they transitioned to being in poverty. But he said he grew up poor, meaning they didn't get any government assistance. Like, they live, you know, like, he had, you know, 5, 6, 7 siblings, and they all took, you know, a bath in like one steel like tub thing outside, you know, and had to keep the water warm, and that didn't get dumped out. Like, the next person jumped back in, and it's like the oldest person was the one who got in the bath last or whatever, after the younger people went. Like, they, you know, actually had chickens and stuff that his grandmother would, you know, catch, and he had to catch the chickens and all of that stuff for them to be able to eat. Like, they grew up they grew up very, very poor, he said. You know, like, everybody passed down clothes and all of that stuff. And he said then they had transitioned, I guess, like, once his dad had left and the household and all of that stuff, I guess his mom had learned about government assistance. And, you know, everybody's saying, you know, you better go down there and get some food stamps and get on government assistance and get, you know, on your Section 8 and, like, all of that stuff. Because back in those days, like, the Section 8 list was open. Sit down, baby. You lucky we're not driving right now. Sit down. You know, it was open. Now it's like it's closed. It's closed indefinitely. They might do a sporadic, like, we open for 72 hours, you know, we're gonna pull whoever can come in 72 hours, we're gonna pull 100 people. But those like lottery things happen so every often. It's not like it's constantly open where you can go down to the office and apply for assistance like how it was back in the day, because a lot of the people who got it back in the day won't get off of it. So a lot of people who are, you know, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, now the people who are like 40, 45, or even 50 and younger, they can't get on it because all the people who are older have not gotten on it. So they kind of waiting for the, you know, for that generation to deplete so that more people can start getting on it, because those people never got off of it. Just, I mean, look at how the times was that they all had to go through. So they more scared. It's a lot of more fear in them than it is in us, you know, like millennials and Gen Zs and stuff. And so he said he remembered when they had got like, you know, in like HUD housing where, you know, they had their townhome and it was upstairs, downstairs, and, you know, like he didn't know that, you know, they was on HUD housing, meaning that it was an allotment and basically the apartments pay or the government pays for where they stay. And he was like, and then his mama, you know, had got food stamps, so they had like he looked in the refrigerator and it was like a whole bunch of food, because he had never seen that much food before, because it was so many times where he went to bed like hungry and not having nothing. And he said he just was so happy. He said, "Mama, are we rich? Are we rich?" And she said, "Nah, baby, we far from being rich." And he said, "Mama, we gotta be rich. We got this house." He said, "Because we never really had no bed. We had a sheet, or we had our coat. We had to cook. Like, we grew up really, really poor. We didn't grow up in poverty. Poverty was what everybody transitioned to from being poor." He said, "We grew up with nothing. Like, everything we had to get it out the mud. And we didn't get it, and we didn't go, you know, get no lines, and we didn't do no work for it, because we didn't even really know about like getting help and standing in lines. Like, we had to, you know, you sweep up all these leaves and we gonna give you $1. You do this. What you need me to do? You need me to go do this? You need to run me some trash? You need me to..." He said, so we worked, you know, from the time we 5 and 6 years old. Like, anything the neighbors needed, you know, we did. My grandma and like my mom used to can apples, you know, and we used to sell the canned apples, and we had a farm and we had chickens, and we used to, you know, all of that stuff. He was like, and so poverty and government assistance didn't look bad. It looked good. Like, he said, I literally thought we was rich. I'm like, my mama came into a whole bunch of money. Like, we got, you know, a place to stay. We got this. We got food. Like, we not wanting for nothing. But now it's like government assistance is taking care of you. The government is your daddy, is, you know, doing what your daddy should be doing. The government doing it, you know, because it's supposed to be a 2-parent household. And it's like, now when I talk about, I don't want to be on government assistance. Like, it's not fun to me. Like, it's not fun to me. I try to be grateful for it because I'm on it, and I know, like, if I got clicked off today, I will be like in a very bad place, you know, financially. But I'm ready for I'm ready to transition into something else. I'm tired of this look. I'm tired of, you know, and it's like just so much I want to do in the world, and I can't do what I want to do in the world by not having nothing. And so, you know, people who I don't really look up to, but business owners I look up to. You know, I look up like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. You know, I watched the documentary of Madam C.J. Walker. I love Madam C.J. Walker. Watch her documentary. You know, how she just came from nothing. Like, documentaries, you know, W.B. Du Bois, and like all, like, I watch those kind of people. I watch people who made a real impact. Money ain't nothing if you don't know how to make an impact with it. Hold on, y'all. Can I get some Claritin D? I gotta come in. Okay. I knew they was gonna say that. I knew they was gonna say that. So it's about the impact. So I just look at everybody who had impact. And it's like money is needed for that, or a community, because you have like Dr. Martin Luther King, who was a pastor, a community leader, but I'm sure like he raised a lot of his funds. I don't really hear about him rolling in the dough. I just hear about his impact. And so, I look up to that as well. Like those kind of people, like I said, Madam C.J. Walker, like I love her. I have her quotes and stuff on my mirror. Like just looking at those people who came from poverty, who came from like nothing, didn't have 2 cents, and they made something out of nothing. Like that's what I continue to like think about. Like how can I make something out of nothing? Give me my purse, y'all. Y'all stay right here. I'll be right back. And y'all listen to CJ.
And listen to your wife. Mommy, can I go?
No, you're not having no gun.
That's grandma.
Oh, y'all don't stay in here with CJ. CJ, be good to them. Yeah, no hitting. And so it's like for a person who, like, I don't think bad about the person who I know who don't feel like there's anything better but government assistance, and that's where she want to stay. Like I don't look down on people, because I know that is generational, and it take a lot to know that the boogeyman is not real. Like it take a whole lot for that. And so, but to have this person who is comfortable, like she got a job, all that stuff, and for them just to click her, like play with her emotions. Hold on, y'all. Need to get some. Wait, I ain't never tried that coconut water. Excuse me. Are you alive? Oh, shoot. Go ahead and lie. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making something quick. I'm about to see now. I might end up having to stop and get some fast food because I am beat. And it's 5:13. I've been up and going since early this morning. Then stopped my grandma around a whole bunch of stores. Still gotta stop and get this so I can at least have a good night's sleep without, because my allergies is horrible right now. And like I said, I didn't pick everybody up from school. And I'm still gonna have to go home, get everybody showers, all that stuff. I'm tired. Add to the rumble, more shall follow you, and who you are going through. Same. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Poppy. I mean, because it's like some people say that it is like most people who have been through what I've been through, who going through what I go through. It's not many, like I don't have a huge community of women who are financially in the same spot as me, but mentally in the same spot as me. Like they might be financially in the same spot as me, but they either are comfortable and stuck where they are, and that's fine for them. Or maybe they got some money, but they still poor minded, and so that shows too. And so the relatability is really hard to find. But I know it's a small sector. I know it's a small bit of people that I have not, you know, bumped shoulders with. I've bumped shoulders with a few like who follow me and who, like Diary of a Single Mom 2017. She's budgeted and all of that stuff, and she's in, I believe, her housing. It's a few women who follow me who are in the same spot, and they have the goals to want more and to not be living paycheck to paycheck, or not be living government assistance allotment to a government assistance allotment. So, but when I just talk about it and say it, like, for the majority of people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing and saying, I don't want to be on this, like, it feels like I'm in prison, about 95% of them gonna be like, girl, you crazy. Like, just thank God that you have it and quit worrying about it. Like, you worrying about nothing. It's people out here that's worrying about paying their rent. But it's like, I've been there too. I haven't been on Section 8 my whole life. So it's like nobody really understand, because it seems like it's like a rich person who is complaining about, like, not having emotional support, or not having a family union, or NNA not being here anymore. And they say, well, why they in, they stuff, and they don't want to be here no more, but they got all the money in the world. There's nothing wrong with wanting better. Yes. And I had to come to terms with that, because in my community and my family and stuff like that, it's like, it people might say that, but then in the second breath, it's kind of like, it is something wrong with what you're saying. Like, you are crazy for what you're saying. Yeah, do something, but don't do too much. Be somebody and make an impact, but don't make too much of an impact. Have a name for yourself, but make sure it's just a name small enough where your locals can know it, but don't make it big enough, because you don't want the government to know what you're doing and cut your stuff off. So it's always like, yes, be all who you can be, but don't be so big where you can't get assistance, if that makes any sense. So constantly being told that in so many words, it's hard. It's hard, because it makes you sit back like, okay, am I crazy? Like, am I really crazy? Do I really just need to chill and just settle? Do I need to? But then it's like, as soon as I have that thought, I have a second thought that's God's promise, and it's like, okay, no, because He wouldn't make me the person who I am. He wouldn't make me the thoughts that I have. He wouldn't have gave me. He wouldn't make me want to read all of these books that I read. Like, He wouldn't. That wouldn't be my character if I was supposed to stay where I am.
I thought you might.
Exactly, Miss Christian. Yeah, so it's like, it's a constant battle with fighting against the resistance of breaking through this barrier is hard. Like, it's very, very hard. It's a lot of resistance, even with myself, that I don't even know. Like, I just end up self-sabotaging myself. Because then the negative thoughts will get to me. And then I'm like, okay, no, I do need to quit trying so hard. Or I just be so hard on myself, where it causes me to have anxiety or whatever. And so I'm working through that too. Hold on, y'all. I'm almost at this line. I am so tired. But I definitely need my allergy medicine.
Well, I can help you. So what's the name? What's the last name?
What is it?
Hernandez
Right there. I see it.
Alright, so that item is actually on back order. I can't get it, but it's the over-the-counter ibuprofen for children. So if you want to be countering that over there, but I can't get any of that in the pharmacy right now. Nope, I don't have any. I can't get any. They're all out. They're not making it right now. Alright.
Hello. Yes, I wanted to get some Claritin D.
You want name brand or generic?
Name brand, please.
All we got is 10 tablets, is that right?
Yes, that's
12 hours? Alright, let's see photo ID.
Do they sell Claritin D for children?
No.
Okay.
The other thing with Sudafed and for children is this one right here.
What is that?
It's just regular Sudafed.
Oh
It's a
no.
liquid.
Sudafed is like sinuses and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the D in the Claritin D. It's for Sudafed.
Oh, okay. No, I just have my allergies. I was asking because my son has really bad allergies, but the regular Claritin is not really strong enough for him.
How old is he?
He's 5.
5.
Yeah, and his prescription, they only do the off-brand, and he's allergic to like off-brand prescriptions. So that's why I was wondering if it was like, yeah.
What are his allergy symptoms?
Like hives, like allergy eyes. They get really puffy. They get red.
Signature. And any sneezing or anything like that, or just hives and puffiness?
No sneezing, just hives and puffiness and itchiness.
Do you have a rewards card?
No.
1818. Give me 1 second to see if the pharmacist has any recommendations.
Okay, thank you. 18.
Pharmacist said the only other thing to try would be the Zyrtec, and that's it.
Oh yeah, there's not strong enough.
Other than that, you gotta talk to the doctor and see if there's something else.
Okay. Yeah, it's just crazy how insurance doesn't cover like name brand stuff.
Yeah, it's because they're more expensive.
Yeah.
So the minute there's a generic, they want you to take that one instead.
Yeah, exactly. So they won't give me the name brand, and like me, I can't have off brand either. So I'm in a hassle. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
How you doing, Dave?
Same, unfortunately, I can't see beyond hood. I had a great mom. I lost. She was single mom. My dad was out of jail and wasn't around, and his dad wasn't around, and decided it would end with me. Yes, Poppy. I'm so glad. Yes, be definitely in your kid's life. That's the first step of breaking all of these generational curses. I hate when they tell me that. Yeah, I raised my kids and even adopted kids. Awesome. Yeah, because it's Claritin D, so it's the kind with Sudafed, and then all the Sudafed is behind the counter because people make meth out of it. And I didn't know that. And so I had been buying the regular Claritin. So I was like, I thought they asked for ID for Claritin. And I'm like, but the Claritin is not working. Like, it's not strong enough. Like, my eyes was really, like, raw. They dark now around, but that's because they're healing up. The new skin is coming. They was completely raw. Like, all red and raw. So that's why I haven't been really on camera, not going live or nothing. And when I had did my haul, somebody had commented and said, yes, I can only use Claritin D behind the counter. They want your ID for it though. And I tried it like that next 2 days. I had went and got me some, and it been working ever since. So now I know I gotta get the Claritin D, not the off brand, that's behind the counter. and it's $18. It's like $18.18 with the tax. But it got the Sudafed in it, and people make meth out of it. So, who money is this?
No, that's mine.
Excuse me.
Mommy, you know that was mine. Mommy, you said you have to tell me that be good at home.
Yeah, baby, hold on. Okay, I didn't know that. I now have a nice home. All my kids are doing well. Awesome, Poppy. See, stories like that, like I had a grandson who went to foster care due to his mom's disability, and I went and got custody of him. I refuse to give up on my family. Amen. Amen. See, so it's like stuff like that, like, you know, I have siblings who I want to see in a better situation than I am. And if they do fall short, I want to have the resources enough to be able to help them, not hinder them, but help them, you know, and be there for them other than emotionally, which I know that's a lot too, but to be able to show somebody the way, or just, you know, for them to chill out for a second, for me to have a guest house or something for them to be at, you know, while they working to, you know, better for themselves. Like, I want that. Like, I want that, because who knows how long this government assistance stuff gonna be around. Like, we don't even know at any given time just how the person I know how they play with her emotions. 1 second she's got a letter saying that she's terminated, so now that's putting her in a state of anxiety, crying, depression, not knowing how she's going to be paying this rent, because when you get Section 8, you have to be in the place, like the size of a house that they approve, and with the amount they approve. So now you might be in a 3-4 bedroom because that's what you have to be, because that's the only, they won't approve you in a smaller bedroom than that. But say they cut you off. Now if they cut you off, hey, it might be a season where, you know, you might have to be in for 6 months. You and your kids might have to go to a 1-bedroom just so you could stack some money up, you know, get some let out couches or whatever, you know. But now you're stuck in this lease that you're going to have to pay or break the lease, and now it's going to be on your credit, all because of government assistance, like clicking you off, and you don't really even know what's going on because they've been closed and a lot of stuff been happening. And it's like, it's just so unstable. Like, nothing about receiving government assistance is stable. It's a false sense of stability. And it's like, that's what a lot of people don't understand. And to constantly live in a false sense of stability is crippling into your mental health. So I'm in therapy, and it's been wonderful for me, you know, because I know that our family found like a therapist that seemed like, you know, everything is going to be cool, and, you know, she kind of understands. And so, but I've been researching a lot on poverty PTSD, and it's when you have basically, sorry y'all, my sensor of my oil light is messed up, so I just got an oil change. But when I got an oil change at the W place, I don't know what they hit, but they hit a sensor, so I ended up getting a whole nother oil change like 2 days later from another place. And they said, well, that they had overfilled my oil, and so it has started releasing pressure, and then it had messed up my sensor. So now, even though it's not leaking, nothing's wrong with it, it'll ding. So sorry y'all, but yeah, that was unexpected, definitely. So yeah, so I've been researching a lot. If this don't stop, I'm at the end of my life. Constantly in a state of living in survival mode, that affects your mental health. You're constantly in a survival mode. You're never able to sit back and just be like, woosah. Like, You sitting back, like your bills all might be paid, but your bills might be getting paid by government assistance. You go get some, allotment for utility money, but now you waiting for the utility money to be on the thing, on your account. If it don't come on your account, do you got the money to pay $4 away? Then you on Section 8, so you're dependent on them to pay your rent. But now the system shut down. Like our system had got hacked. And so now your bills ain't getting paid. You trying to wait and see when it's gonna come back up, but you don't know. Like y'all seen where my food stamps, it was a complete glitch. They don't even know why it happened. But when I was supposed to get my food stamps, I didn't get my food stamps. I didn't have my food stamps, I think, for almost 2 weeks. And then it just popped on. 2 weeks after the date they were supposed to be on there, and they was like, yeah, it's just been backed up, some things like this happen. But when you're in a state where their mess up or their glitch or their whatever, like that's your whole livelihood, like that's you're constantly in a state of one phone call or one letter in the mail putting you into complete panic mode. And so it's like that's a blessing. Like I know as humans, they messing up this road, y'all. This road is horrible. I know as humans, we always, have the assume that the grass is greener on the other side, or we always have the grass is greener on the other side syndrome. But at the end of the day, being self-sufficient, like that's just a human need. Like being able to have water, food, shelter, that's a human need. That's your human rights. So that's why government assistance was even created, because us not having it, especially as Black people, once we were not enslaved anymore, and now us not having the resources because we never got our reparation, how the Native Americans and everybody else get their reparation, but us, it caused them to create government assistance to basically help us. But y'all didn't really help us. It made you keep a tag on us, and it made you to oppress us even more. It made you say like, no, we're not going to be your master, but we are your master because we controlling how much food you able to buy in your house. We controlling when your rent get paid, if we gonna pay it. We control where you can live, because everywhere don't accept Section 8 or anything like that. Like we're controlling all of that stuff. And so no, you're not in bondage and handcuffs physically, but you're still in bondage. And a lot of people don't see that because they've been in bondage so long. When you beat down and you've been beat down for so long, it's hard to see that you're being beat down. That's how you have people who, go through DV, and they don't even, like, they get into another relationship, or they've been in a relationship for so long, they don't even know that they're in a DV relationship. They're just automatically ready to cover up the eyes and to do all of this stuff. They don't even know what it's like to be respected, because they have been disrespected for so long that it's normal. And so survival mode is normal. This is crazy. Survival mode is normal to a lot of people. And when I looked around, especially if you are a believer, if you're a real believer, not that you know Genesis to Revelations, not that you're religious, because I'm not a religious person, and it took me a long time to say I'm not religious. I'm a spiritual, and I'm a believer in Christ, and I'm a follower of Jesus. And when you actually know like whose you are, like whose I am, who created me, like he just put me in Indiana, but this is not really where I'm from. I'm not even from Africa. Like that's just another place on earth. Like I know I might be going all over the place, but that's just another place on earth. And it's like once you know whose you are and the promises that was set forth on you and the promises that you have, that's when you start to look around and say, this ain't it. It's not greedy to want abundance. because God is abundance. Like, I want what he got for me. I want what he told me that he had for me. And so, you know, I always keep my faith. I have faith. And then, but then I have to be real with God and say, God, where your promise? I told you that I need help. So if I'm not doing something that's not in alignment or whatever the case is, like, let me know so I can change those different things, because you promised me something. And it was not just financial freedom. That was just a part of it. If I got $1 million today, but I made no impact, I would still die full. I don't want to die full. When I die, I want to be empty of everything. I want to teach and impact every single person who I can teach and impact, who want to hear me. Like, and so if I got $1 million, it's not just to go off and have my house and have my family. Like, yeah, your home is your first responsibility, but after that, I believe that we all here for a purpose, and it's to reach back and touch somebody, and it's to reach back and to make an impact. And so I know that this situation I'm in is all for a reason. It's for a purpose. But you know, sometimes it's hard. It's hard. Like, it's definitely not easy. It's definitely not easy. And it's definitely not easy because, like, when you know better, like, when you know better and you want better, it's even harder. Like, it's even harder. And so, like I said, it's just been a lot. Like, I haven't even been uploading. I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. I got stuff that I've recorded that I need to put on here. But, you know, I just been in a deep mental thought, a deep mental space, a deep spiritual space, because a lot been going on. Like I just needed to get back in tune with me. And if it wasn't for me, like, having YouTube and being on here, like, I probably wouldn't even have a YouTube. I've already taken off my Facebook. I've taken off my Instagram. Like, it just, because it makes me angry. Like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you jealous, or it's envy. It's not jealousy or envy. It's that I know that every blessing that people are having is not from God. The devil blesses you. The devil blesses you too. The devil blesses you so he can make people not believe in who people need to believe in, or who people, you know, want to believe in. Like, people who say they believe in God, the devil will start blessing them to see if you're gonna really follow God's plan, or if you're gonna start following his plan. And so the devil will bless you sooner than God's timing. And so, but constantly seeing, like, people use their resources for bad, it gets to me spiritually. It gets to me emotionally to constantly see people use their resources for not the good, like, not even good of them. Like, they using their resources to destroy themselves, to destroy the only body that they only get in one body, and they using their resources to destroy the one body that they're getting. And so to constantly just see that, and to constantly see that foolishness, and to constantly see it praised, to constantly see couples goals of the most toxic couples, to constantly see, you know, body goals for a person who then had, like, so many injections that they, like, look deformed. And it's like, you know, just a lot of different things that I could say, but it's like, I know that I would be canceled if you were sitting in my living room on a day-to-day basis, because it's like, it's real. And it's like, where people don't want to be honest and go from, yeah, you looked nice with your BBL, but now you keep going back to this surgeon, and now it's looking a little and you don't even have a life insurance policy. So if something happened to you, your kids is left with nothing. You spend 10 bands on this BBL, but say you don't get off that table, your kids could have been eating with that $10,000 because you're no longer here. And you didn't even do that. Like, you know nothing about a savings account. You know nothing about high interest yield accounts. You know nothing about getting an IRA. You know nothing about nothing. Like, you're doing the bare minimum, but then with your surplus, you're being foolish with it. So to constantly see that, it's like, It bothers me. And it hurts me. It don't bother me from jealousy, like it bothers me from pain, because it's like hindsight is 2020, and it's like I just see so many people that if they have some kind of soul or whatever, they gonna sit back and be like, dang, I fumbled that. I really fumbled that. I should have did better. And it's like, I just really hate that people are living their life to have regrets. They're living their life to the fullest. They're YOLOing, but they don't know that each day they're making a regret that they're going to have in the next 20 years of their life. And that hurts. Like, it hurts me. Like, I'm an empath. It really hurts me to see that from people. From a lot of people. You know, it's not just one particular person. It's a lot of people. You know, it's people who I don't even know. People I've never watched nothing from. Never. Like, they just come down my feed. It hurt me. And so, yeah, y'all. But I got my Claritin. I had just really wanted to stay, you know, go live while I was waiting for that. And then I had to go in. So thanks for y'all tuning in. I'm getting ready to stop and get the kids something quick to eat. And then go home because it is late. Like, y'all see, it's night out here. And I literally been out since this morning, ripping and running. I'm so tired of sitting in this car. So, sit back. So thank y'all all for tuning in. Until next time, y'all. Bye.